stay down, down. I'm just stuck here in a dream. I'm at the bottom of the ocean. I'm at the bottom of the sea. I'll stay down, down. I'm just stuck here in a dream. I'm at the bottom of the sea. I'll stay down, down. I'm just stuck here in a dream.
are many simple things in the world. Shovels. They are all different. Gardening shovel. Unloading shovel. Children's shovel. But there is also a different shovel. We use it when we come to the position. In short time, it helps us dig a trench which saves us from bullets. If a tank will pass over the trench, there is a high probability that it will not cause any harm to the soldier. We dig in the ground, deeper, and then connect the trenches with our friends to the left. In just a few hours, trenches are all connected. When we do not have an axe, we can use a shovel to cut a loaf of bread. A soldier uses a shovel as a paddle, crossing the wide river under enemy fire. If we run out of ammunition, we will use a shovel again. And then we'll move on. And when we get the order to stop, we'll take a shovel again and build around us an impregnable fortress. This fortress is defended by the army of Ukraine, our army.
A lot of people look at us as robots or just out doing a job, but everything we see and do affects us just like it does everybody else.
A lot of problems with first responders and veterans is that now we're in a battlefield that's very different.
I've lost more friends to suicide than I did in combat, and it really hurts.
When you push the human envelope to those maximum extents, physically, psychologically, emotionally, and spiritually, and then you pull that plug, nothing prepares you for the silence. Nothing prepares you for that void.
You can't come that close to death without it having some effect on you.
I'll never forget my wife telling me, you know, you're not the same Brett that I married.
What War Horses does is it puts you in that environment to, in essence, look in the mirror. But that mirror's that horse. And that horse is going to tell you where you're at.
You got to relax. You got to calm down. You got to slow your mind down and just think about this one thing, controlling that horse.
The first thing we do before we get on a horse, we breathe. Let go of everything. Let go of everything in your head. If I don't let go of everything, I cannot be present with the horse.
It's magic. I just started crying. It was the first time in my life that I literally let everything go.
Compassion, generosity, love, all of these things trickle back into what it is to be a human being.
It's completely changed me.
All the confidence I had lost, it started coming back working with these horses. They've given me my life back.
WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Do you ever have one of those moments where you think, how the hell did I get here? Jeez, what happened to me? I was ruling the galaxy, had a cherry new battle station. I mean, this place had an omelet bar, a straight-up omelet bar. And now look, my former intern's tossing me down a bottomless freaking pit. You know, come to think of it, my whole life has been a series of what the moments. That was my out.
The voice of U.S. Army. WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
I looked my woman in the eye sockets. I told her straight out. I just said it, man. I said it. I said, bitch, I'm the man of the house.
You said bitch, though. You called your wife a bitch.
Yeah.
This is a public service announcement from C.T. Fletcher. I will not contribute to the pussification of a nation. Get your punk ass out there and work for it, motherfucker. Let's roll.
Memes, but I have your comments. That national anthem, rockin' and rollin' national anthem was Ryan Scott, the Brigade S3 for 434, Field Artillery Brigade. Thank you so much for letting us use your version of the national anthem. Rock on. Everyone was jamming. Yeah, it was all CQ's fault. You guys want me to take the comments off? Anyways, rocking in the gunner's seat, I have my man Shipwreck. What's up, man?
Not much, yeah.
Oh, dude. What a very busy weekend, right? I mean, it's like, what do we got going on? Yeah, we got busy weekend. The last 72 hours in the news have been kind of crazy, and actually, I don't have to worry about looking down for the screen stuff and all that. I'll actually look up right now. I can look at the comments right there. What's up, Howdy? Howdy, Frank. What's up, Howdy? What's up, Frank? This
is gonna be fun with the chat.
You see the chats up there right there? Not nobody can run, nobody can hide. Oh man. So I'm just playing around with this right here just to see what how it works. It looks pretty good. Seeing everybody's chats up there and stuff like that. I kind of like that. That's pretty cool for the world to see. So that way, even everybody on all of our platforms. So if you're on YouTube, if you're on Twitter, if you're on 2 Facebook pages on Twitch, you're gonna see our you're gonna see the chats for the fans, so that way you guys can see exactly what the fans are saying from each of the platforms that we're broadcasting. So I figured that's pretty cool. What do you think?
So that is cool. So if they get tired of looking at you, they actually got entertainment to look at.
Right. If they're tired of hearing my voice, or they're tired of hearing or seeing my my face, then they can just go ahead and oh, I guess I could look at the chats and But be careful. You throw a chat up in there, that's going to be, it's going to be up there.
It's going to be blasted.
It's going to get blasted. It's going to be, yeah, so we don't have to switch platforms to see the comments. Yeah, see exactly that. Jim, you found me on OnlyFans. Bro, it's supposed to be between us, man. What's up with that? Why you blast my Persec? That's messed up. So, anyways, how you been, Shitrep? What you been up to, man?
Oh man, busy weekend. Trying to catch up on things, and did some activities with my young one that learned the hard way about being hydrated before doing physical work.
Oh man!
So I guess I need to do the old school canteen trick with him until he learns.
Man. Wow.
Part of growing up.
No, I hear you. Is he okay? I mean, the little one's okay, right?
Oh yeah, he's fine. Just how you get lightheaded and dehydrated a little bit and almost pass out.
Story of my life, man. I'm always lightheaded. I'm always gonna pass out. Sorry, I'm not that out of shape, but you know what I mean. Ran today with Baby Ice. If you guys meet him, maybe some of the videos you've seen posted to me on my other social media accounts, you see me running with a little guy, and he's yeah. Remember I was like last week I was telling you guys how I was just feeling like ass. It was just a bad. Everyone was just getting like the crud or something like that. It was just blah.
Right.
Baby Ice
is
feeling
able
too.
To keep up with Baby Ice when he runs.
You know what, dude? I'm gonna tell you what. You are. This is not a clown question. This is like a legit question. I know you're not doing this to troll me, but that little man can freaking run. He can send it. He likes doing block sprints, so he'll go and he'll sprint for to the other street. And now, granted, he's not even 7 years old, so he loves to run. He's a little boy, man. Likes to run, climb trees, jump off of stuff. Likes to tackle me. I'll be on the phone with somebody or on a Zoom or something like that. And the next he'll go whoa, like body check me or something like that. That's because I have friends that are into hockey, so we watch their hockey videos, and so he likes to check He likes to do body check. Yeah, I got a friend that I follow on Twitter, and he posts hockey videos, and so I'm sitting there watching some of his videos, and he's like, "Who's that?" And I'm like, "Oh, that's just a friend." And then he's like, he sees him checking people or playing, doing some rough house. You know how hockey is. Hockey is a fun sport. If you like getting involved in fisticuffs, or if you like, getting roughed up, and man, he woof.
Definitely a no holds barred.
Oh my gosh, he's like emulating all my friends. It's like, hey, I'm old, dude. You can't be like beating him up me like that. So I need to get him some sticks and skates and get him on the rink. But yeah, I was just like, yeah, dude, he's picking up his speed. His sprints are getting a lot better. Used to kind of poke fun with him, and I'm so thirsty. Same as you, telling your kid, hey, you should drink water, or blah blah blah, and then he doesn't listen. But
yo.
Anywho, so I'm glad you asked, Trace. We're just talking about Twitter. Did you hear about Elon Musk, dude? Did you hear what he did?
Didn't he mess with Twitter or something?
Oh, he didn't mess with Twitter. He bought stock in Twitter. He has like almost 10% of ownership of Twitter now.
So does that mean he has some authority to set policy?
Authority? Does he have some authority about Twitter? I don't know, man. Who knows?
As being a stockholder, where does that?
Well, I mean, isn't that the way companies work? They have to listen to the stockholders. SEC filings today reported that he purchased it. I don't know what the amount was. I'm trying to see what the amount is. But almost a 10% ownership. Man, that's like
almost 3 million or something.
Billion. I think it was like billions. I think it was in the billions, dude. Hang on, let me look. Let me find some here. Let me find some news. No, we're not gonna talk about Chris Rock. Shut up. No.
Oh yeah, it's 2.9 billion.
Yeah, 2.9 billion. I'm about to say.
And it's 9.2% of Twitter stock.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Could you imagine just having the cash to buy Twitter? Just to have like, yeah, I'm gonna buy Twitter. I'm just gonna buy it. I'm just gonna buy Twitter.
Everyone, with pocket change.
Yeah, exactly. Bacon Eater says, anyone to cut up a forest full of trees with a fucked up broken back? Yeah, man. He probably bought it with what he had from his couch cushions. Exactly. He found it in his couch cushions, and that's what cushions. I don't know why I said cushions. Why did I say cushions? Cushions. I don't know. I think that's kind of cool. I can just imagine what he would do to Twitter. Everyone's like, how everyone's talking about what's going on in Florida with the bill that everyone's saying that it says don't say gay, but I don't see anything under it says don't say gay. I don't know if people are going to get pissed off when I say this, but I haven't seen it. The law that Governor DeSantis passed, everyone's freaking out about, right? And how everyone said they're going to leave Florida, or they're not going to, they're not come back. I wonder what's going to happen with all the employees now that knowing that they can't stand Elon Musk, and Elon Musk is going to be working there. What do I want to say?
That's a good question. I haven't actually read the law myself on that either, but what I've been seeing and hearing, I should read it.
Maybe you should, Shipwreck. Maybe you should read it. I'll be honest with you. Here's my take on that law. And I know it's going to get everybody all riled up to whatever, and this is not going to be taught whatever. This is not going to be said whatever. All I'm going to say is this, is that kids should be, in that aspect and that topic, should be talked to by their parents, and unless there is a human biology class that's got like human reproduction in the beginning, 8th or 9th grade with a parent's permission slip or something like that, like they used to do back in the day, like when I was growing up back in, way back in the
Well, when my boy was in 6th grade, they sent home permission slips to start talking about that subject and hygiene and things like that.
Right, but were they talking about it in a context of the science portion of it, or were they just talking about what were they talking about?
They broke it up, male and female sections, and the girls in one room, the boys in the other room, they talked about the reproductive system.
Right.
From a biology point, and the STDs that could possibly come with it, and give them a little eye opener.
Right.
on the medical aspect in biology.
Well, okay, all right. But they didn't. But the teachers and stuff like that talking about their sexuality or something like that. That's not what they did, right? They didn't do that. They didn't talk about that.
I didn't hear nothing about that from my kid. Of course, unless my kid was not being truthful, I don't think they did. But
Right.
you're not there, so you don't really know. But you just go off what your kid tells you.
No, I'm pretty sure the kid will ask you though if they're going to be like, "Hey, I got some issues and I got some."
But the kids these days, they're real knowledgeable in a lot of those subjects. When, like, I remember 7th grade, I think it was. My boy missed the bus, and they all got together, and they were going to walk home in a big group, which is awesome for them.
Right.
And then a couple people in their group have different, what do you call it? They claim to be different things in life, and from you name it. And he comes home and talks about it like it's nothing. So it's very well diverse in school now.
So you're saying that the that law. I mean, not that the. So you're saying with your kids, it's not really an issue.
My older one, no.
discussed.
Now my younger one, that's way younger, in elementary school. They're still very neutral in the classroom and the school in general, and I appreciate that as a parent.
Right.
So then I don't have to answer questions with how do you explain, to a 8-year-old about that subject. It can be very difficult. Yeah.
Shelley says, example, what could happen under that law? Kid gets to give up and talk about his family, has 2 dads. Other kids ask why don't you have a mom, and the teacher explains that some family have 2 dads, and the kids ask why they have 2 dads, and the teacher could be fired for saying that. The teacher could be fired for saying that. So, that law is kind of. I'm not reading the law into it. I mean, it's what what I'm seeing different sides of the aisle discuss the synopsis of it without all the legalese of what it is. You know what I mean? So it's literally talking about they're saying it's anti-woke bills, or they're talking about it being a don't say gay law or whatever. I didn't going through it and stuff like that and kind of reading through it. I didn't see anywhere where it said anything about don't be gay, or you know what I mean? Did you see anything like that, or did you?
I haven't physically read it myself. I can go off of what I've heard in the media and online, and I don't know how true everything is, so I don't really want to repeat it. But from what I understand of what's being said about it, they're trying to leave stuff more neutral in classrooms than talk about anything, kind of leave it up to their parents. That's how I'm taking it.
Yeah.
But then again, I haven't read it, so I can't really.
Yeah, I got it. Right. Shelley's asking, is this Florida's biggest problem? I don't know. Is it? I don't know. Is it the biggest problem? I mean, everyone's cracking about that. Making their cracks and comments about all that stuff, and some of the they've had like 5 years of the most toxic red tide, filling in the swamps. And some of the discussions that I've had with my family about this stuff, I've never had any of my kids come back and say, my teacher said this, or my teacher said that. You know what I mean? I never had that come back either. Or this is what the teachers are saying, or I don't think that's right. I mean, my kids hang out, like you said, with a pretty big, diverse group of kids. So it's not, I don't ever hear it an issue as a question. You know what I mean? It's almost like kids are going to learn their own shit anyways.
Yeah, and if you're a parent that teaches your kids to be respectful no matter what, then it's really not a big deal unless they're like 4th and then younger.
Do you think the kids
age-wise?
Yeah. Do you think it's like it's important that a teacher just comes out and says what they are to the kids? I mean, I don't think it should. I mean, I just think that a teacher should teach. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a teacher should teach. It's no one's business but the teacher, no one else.
Right, exactly.
Who really cares? The only time I care with a teacher is like they're pushing an agenda or
well, and that's another thing too. It's
criminal,
like, right? It's just like if you have a teacher that's there to teach mathematics. I know some awesome athletes. I call one of the individuals that I follow on Twitter a mathlete, and she kicks ass. And so I see some questions on there that she'll post of some tips, tricks, and all this other stuff. And math is this discussion, and she's transgender. So okay, cool. You know what I mean? Cool. Yeah, I don't get the. You know, if she's
I just want educated teachers.
Right. Well, I mean, it's just I don't know what's the drive. I mean, maybe you guys can give me a call 415-889-8367. I mean, I'm open to the topic. I mean, just want to know why is it bad and why is it good and why it isn't. You know, why should teachers are now picking up the mantle of wanting to emphasize on this? And it's just a question, really, for me. It's not to troll anybody or to put anybody on the spot. You guys know when we talk to our guests, that's not how we do this. And
it's an educational question.
Right.
There we
go.
Whoa,
whoa, hang on. What's this? What is this? Who's dropping all these big? You see these big? Who's dropping these big comments?
Man, they're going too fast now.
I know, man. I'm just kind of hang on. Man, you got some comments. You're posting the comments so that we can see them. Oh, actually, everybody can see what you're posting in the comments.
Then got some links to check out.
And Craig's got a good question. There's another point too. When did sexuality become part of school curriculum? Humanities. I mean, isn't that part of class now? I know it's been years since I've been in high school, so I don't know. Do they have humanities in class and stuff like that?
All I have to say is not all teachers are educated.
No, all teachers are educated?
Exactly. I've had my oldest boy come home they were studying when it was Hillary and Trump for elections. They were doing school elections and watching videos on how elections work or the presidential elections. And teachers doing her own thing, kids watching the video, and then, of course, the teacher's like, hey, what did y'all learn from the video? And ask simple questions to make sure they paid attention. And my boy was called and gave an answer, and teacher's like, no, you're wrong. And my boy's like, it's not what they said in the video. Not what it said in the video. It became one of those arguments. And then the teacher goes, well...
No, go ahead, I'm sorry. Teacher goes what?
The teacher started arguing with a kid about what was in the video or not, and it happened to be my boy. And it came down to where the teachers were like, well, let's find out with Siri what the real answer is, trying to use it to disprove my kid on the answer, I guess. Let's just say I back slapped her in the face that she was wrong, my boy was right, in front of the whole classroom. Yeah, my boy came home that day and was like, Dad, guess what I did?
Well, I mean, is another thing too, is teachers, is somebody asked, Baconator says education is more important than politics and agendas, and it should never end. I still be learning. I'll tell you what. Was that supposed to be like a Hank Hill voice? I'll tell you what. Education is more important than politics and agendas, and it should never end. Damn it, Bobby. I'll tell you what. Anyways.
Bush doesn't have anything to say on this?
Bush? Why are you bringing me in this conversation there, Shipwreck? I was railing. I was doing coke. Sorry. Why am I apologizing? It's true. He admits it. So shit. I don't even be apologizing for news. So, yeah, everyone's like throwing the comments in there. I appreciate it. Opinion, new law. Why are we talking about California? See, why isn't everyone worried about California or worried about Florida, but not saying anything about California? I'll tell you what. I think people should give a shit more about the gun laws there and what's happening with the way they treat their homeless and the way they have homeless all about the Los Angeles metro area than dealing with I hate to say it, but technically Americans are basically some of the dumbest people on the earth when it comes to our education system. Baconator's telling it like it is. Technically, Americans are basically some of the most dumbest people on earth when it comes to our education system, and it's sad, really. I will say that in working with foreign armies or working with international military and our NATO partners and working with our coalition partners downrange, they're pretty astute to our history. Like we're talking about individuals that will bring up, especially the Brits, will bring up stories about some battles of the Revolutionary War that I didn't even know existed.
Yeah, they study our history quite well.
Oh my gosh, they do, and they literally will go through the. I mean, they're talking about strategies of generals and stuff, and I'm like, hang on, and I'm looking up at my phone, like, wait, hold on a sec, let me see, and I'm like Wikipediaing and looking at history.com, and I'm like, where did you guys learn this from? And some of this is in their own education system as well. It's kind of messed up that some of the European models have like a different case system for their education. It's like if you're just not going to be cut up to be an engineer, then I guess you're cut out to be a lower level, or you're going to be mid-grade or something like that. Cost doesn't matter. That's all we want. We won. That's all that matters. We're talking. We're the revolutionary. We're still friends, right? Our British cousins from across the pond. I don't know how we got from Twitter to this, but anyways, we'll get back to Twitter in a minute. Big Andrew's right. There's a lot of things that we have, a lot of ignorance on how our education and some of our schools work. You know what I mean? I don't know. Some of it agenda driven. I'm pretty sure some of it is. Is it now all of a sudden parents are waking up to seeing what's going on in our education system in our country, or is it now our kids are getting smarter too? Like you just said, your kid like punked at a teacher or something like that. Like kind of like clap back at the teacher, and was right about something. Well, teachers don't like to be wrong. Teachers don't like to be wrong.
Nope.
Teachers.
I had to do a parent-teacher conference on that one.
You had to do a parent-teacher conference for.
Yep. And that was interesting.
I'll just say.
Well, what's funny is when we have open house, I'm one of those parents that I'll tell the teacher in front of my kid, "Hey, my kid's wrong. I'm going to support you 100%. Now, my kid's right and proves to me he's right. I'm going to back up my kid. So you better have your stuff in line." And I tell my boy, and if you mess up, a teacher will call me and I'll come out and correct your action real quick. And then you go back to class. And the teacher's like, "Yep, no problem."
And
then when I had to go back my boy up on that teacher, she didn't like it whatsoever.
I mean, look, I'm friends with some educators, and some of them have frustration issues. I'm honest with you. There are some good teachers out there. I don't want this to be a slam on teachers as well. I know there's teachers out there that A, pay for their own school supplies, B, are dealing sometimes with kids that have either no parentage or one parent in the house. C, or they're come from a humble beginnings, and the kids themselves have had to or could not afford to get to school, or could not afford clothes to wear or something like that. So some of the frustrations like that, and of course on top of that, they are also there to some of them are kind of counseling or assisting kids in some of those hardships. So I can kind of see where teachers are coming from, but there's other, like I said, there are some agendas that, I think you should. I get being there for being a role model, being an adult mentor. I'll be some growing up. I can only count off of one hand maybe a few. Oh wait, hang on, the chats are on the way. I can only count of a few mentors that have actually helped me coming up in elementary school, junior high and high school, that I've been there, knowing what I've gone through. And I guarantee it, if some of the life issues or some of the life discussions that some students have with their teachers were to be brought up now from back in the day, when the awesome 80s were happening that everyone was trying to go back to, and it was brought up to this standard. It was compared to this standard, or, this is the way. It's funny how everyone likes to talk about the 80s and shit, but when it comes to what some of the teachers had to do when I was growing up, Shelley's got a good point. It's just there's some students that are homeless that are dealing with stuff. Some kids don't eat. Some kids only eat at school. I'm all about education, man, but I'm also all about making sure that the teachers are educating. Does that make sense? I mean,
yes.
Yeah, I don't.
Sure, I don't know about your area, but our schools, they'll do breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
I think, I think there was a couple of school. I think it was a school that I went to when I was growing up. that had breakfast. Yeah, you got the bus, and then there was breakfast there, and you ate, and you had, and that was it. So, Crazy, if you live in California, that's what you get. Liberals always vote you. Move. Left California in 2014. Move somewhere else to where my vote actually counts. You honestly believe your vote actually counts, huh? Okay. I'm not saying that voting's not important. I'm just saying that the parties nowadays are getting just a tad bit in unison in a lot of their agendas. God, these chats are in the way. I can't be animated. I'm animated and stuff. I gotta have my hands out and stuff like that. My suit.
Is that why you do Bush so well? You're animated with your hands.
Oh, yeah, I am, dude. I have to be careful. I got to be careful when I'm talking to people, man. I got those non-verbals, or those my hands moving. And then I have some people that are like, that it could take offense. You know what I mean? So you got to be careful. But in my explanation of stuff, I'm like Joe, the big Goomba in there. Hey, forget it. I'm saying, forget about it. You know what I mean? What's up, Joe? Joe says a student has a son's class lost 20 pounds during this past intercession because he couldn't eat but once a day. See, it's shit like that, man.
Wow.
Yeah, Shell, you're right. Dude, on top, man, my hands. I gotta tie my hands. I gotta like, clench my desk or some shit. Make sure I don't talk. Yeah, it does, dude. It's unfortunate that I would focus more on teachers getting a pay raise, getting supplied, and then assisting the kids in the school, man. I just don't get it. In some of these states that have some of the most outlandish freaking budgets to go spend on whatever project there is, meanwhile, some of the schools are the worst in the country, or they have rundown schools, or they have no programs, after school programs to assist. Now, I mean, that's, I don't want to say that's the. Am I being progressive? Is that being a liberal? Taking care of kids, teaching kids, saying that teachers need.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, about to say, yeah. I know there's some people that get pissed off when I say that. You're just acting like a Democrat. You're being a liberal because why? Because I want to make sure that kids are educated.
There's nothing wrong with thinking the way both sides of the aisle are on certain subjects.
Right. Now, again,
you can choose what you agree with and not.
Exactly what Baconator said about the agenda-driven stuff. I just don't like the agenda-driven shit. That would be like one class having a specific teacher and does nothing about talk about politics. And let's move out of the sexuality stuff. Let's move out of that. And let's just say there's a teacher that just talks nothing about politics, but it's slanted to one side. Pick your side. It don't matter. Would you be more worried about that than the sexuality part? Or what? Will you be saying that it's brainwashing, stuff like that?
I just don't want no one to push agenda on my kid on any subject.
Right.
That's all I'm worried about.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just if I have a kid that's going to school and he's learning math, then math should be the topic of that class, right? If we're going to, growing up, did you have home ec? Like learning how to write a check and cook and stuff like that, basic cooking stuff?
Oh, yeah, I did home ec where we did a stock exchange.
Yeah, exactly. You
balance your checkbook.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, that's or you had metal shop or wood shop or auto shop. Those.
Yeah, they had that when I was growing up,
dude. That's the stuff right there you want to learn about. I don't have time for no agendas. Teach me how to change oil. Teach my kid how to change oil if I'm not doing it myself. Oh, there's some kids that don't have, and that's like two people have to like kind of pump their brakes and getting offended on what's being taught in school when it comes to something like that. Like some life learning stuff. Like I said before, there are some children that do not have, they either have a parent that works or no parents at all in the house to teach them this stuff. Or a role model. Exactly that, Bailey. Skilled trades.
All those jobs are going to come back.
Yeah, I mean, I learned how, let's see, in school, in multiple facets of my upbringing, it's a metal shop, wood shop, home ec, and auto shop. And then in between that was gym and weightlifting or PE, and all this other stuff. I liked it. I mean, again, of course, you know, my dad taught me a lot of that stuff too, but there was some extra stuff too that, you know, I learned too. So
they still got weightlifting and working out in school,
right? But
where I'm at,
right?
But it's all geared towards, you know, the kids that are doing football, but they're doing it during PE, and then all the other kids are forced to do it that don't really want to get in sports.
Don't want to get. Those kids are getting the kid gets one to get.
But at least they're working out and building up some muscle, you know.
What's up, Matthew? Hey, man. Well, I'm glad you're back. I'm glad you're back, and I'm glad you're good. Thank you for coming back. We appreciate you coming back, brother. Good, you're doing okay. Sociology, exactly that, Bailey. So you see it. Learning shit starts at home. Learning shit starts at home. It's just pick one thing to get rid of the defect: biscuits and gravy, chicken cordon bleu, or beef yakisoba. Chicken cordon bleu. That's it. It's a no-brainer. Biscuits and gravy. Come on, man. It's a Warriors meal. You can't get rid of biscuits and gravy. It's a Warriors meal. Beef yakisoba, man. Plenty of times I've been in the field cold.
You ever been to the restaurants where they don't have biscuits and gravy on the menu, but you asked for it and they got it?
Yes. Yes and yes. Yep. Used to have driver's ed when I was in high school. They don't have it anymore in North Carolina, at least in my area. You know, I think it was a summer program where I was growing up. It was you could take it during summer school, a driver's ed class. I growing up in a ranch and stuff like that. That I kind of like learning. I learned how to drive a split shift big rig truck when I was a kid. You know,
standard.
I knew how to drive a stick shift. You know what I mean? I knew how to. You know, I knew how to hook up a. I knew how to hook up a freaking thresher with a fucking tractor, John Deere tractor. So I kind of had some. I kind of had some extra driver's training. Motorcycles, shit. I mean, I was riding motorcycles since I was a kid and stuff like that. Bailey says people are just too damn selfish to even parent. So they're considering what their child they need to know as they grow up.
Well, do you have a lot of kids that are just raising kids, though, as a parent?
As far as what?
Just in general, like, I see a lot of young adults raising kids, and they're a kid themselves. They're not.
You know, I've
really matured enough to be
I've
an
seen
adult level.
Yeah, I've seen kids raise. You know, I've seen kids. You know, older siblings, I should say, assist in raising that. And it shouldn't be something like it's a. I don't know. I was one of the older kids growing up, and I didn't feel like I didn't feel like it was a hassle to me. It's like I had to go pick up my sister, or I got to go do something with my sister to go, or take care of my little brother. I had to do it. You know what I mean? Regardless if he was being a pain in the ass or not, or being, you know what I mean? You know, because you know, little brothers and little sisters are pains in the butts. But you know, I just felt like it was a familial obligation to knock it out. So just knock it out. You know, you just did it. Shelley says that my dad thinks some bombs that hit Ukraine weren't from Russia and they were aliens. So what's he going to teach me? Ooh, sorry about that.
They were laser beams.
They were
not bombs. Laser beams.
Yeah. You sure they weren't TIE fighters or TIE bombers? I'm just kidding. I do not want to disrespect what's been going on over there. Yeah, exactly that. Yeah, same thing, man. Walked to school. Yep, same thing.
Uphill and downhill too is what you're going to say. Barefooted now.
How did you know? Uphill both ways.
Snow up to the knees.
No snow where I was growing up. It was mostly desert rock and you know, I didn't have a backpack. I had a wooden box with a rope for handles. So those were my shoulder straps. That's what I used to carry my books. Had a wooden crate. You know what I mean? And then when I had exactly like Baconators, I had to walk my little sister. I had to put her in the back, So. And that was in 1979. Man, 1979. Dude.
Damn.
What was I? I think I did walk to school in 1979. I think I was. Yeah. It was right down the street. I think I think I took a school.
Well, you've been around since what, the 20s?
Oh, whatever, dude. I've been around. I have been around. So, again, playing with this playing with this chats in the comment there. If they're 18 or over, technically, those ages, people have been reproducing and raising children for thousands of years. Yeah, exactly, Bailey.
Prosper.
Yeah, Prospector, see that shit? And Bailey's correct. I mean, think about back in the day when kids were over 18. Isn't that funny how there's a lot of legislation and a lot of politics. YouTube Tap is working. I see that. YouTube Chat is working. And you see that hold that question right there. Hold that question right there for after the break. I see that question right there about marijuana. I see that question right there.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be a good subject.
Yeah, it's a real good subject. Our societal standards that have been affected. Yep, and compromised too. Some things everyone says it's okay to be at a specific age, like the teaching about sex, that it's okay. But you have to be a certain age to drive. But you have to be a certain age to purchase a firearm. But you have to be a certain age to vote. You have to be a certain age to join the military. Fuck it. Me and Flash talked about this. We'll just make Rule 25. 25, 25, 25, 25. 25 to vote, 25 to purchase a firearm, 25 to drive. There you go. Unless you join the military.
And then what age for the military?
18. If you join the military, you could smoke, you could drink. Oh yeah, 25 for the drinking too. You could smoke, you could drink. If you join the military, citizen. What was that? Service through citizenship, or citizenship through service. Is that what you're saying? That's when you get your rights. 25. When you hit 25, then okay. But unless you join the military, you get to do all that stuff. I know people freak out about this. Everyone talks about at what age is considered an adult.
Life experience, really. Man.
We actually have a lot of individuals who have plenty of life experiences that don't have any college education. Elon Musk. We're talking about that again? Yeah, Elon, exactly. Who wants to play some COD Warzone and wreck some fools? I've been playing Call of Duty lately, and it's been fun. It's been pretty cool.
Which version of Call of Duty?
All of them. I play all of them. I don't have, I have to keep up with all the lingo and keep up with what the children's doing, what the youngins are doing. Like to be in this game, to be a podcaster and stuff like that, you got to be up. You got to talk. Warzone. See, there you go. You got to be up on those.
Talk the talk and walk the walk.
Yeah, man, you can't sit there and you can't just dome the opposite side playing whatever it is, whatever one of the maps are. And next thing you know, you realize you're getting beat by somebody in their 60s, son. Love it. The kids get so mad. Some kids just, when you're playing, they'll just sit there, just leave the game because they're getting so pissed off that you're just doming their asses. But
I thought it would be the other way around. They're whooping your butt because you're a little slow on the controller stick.
Oh, man. Whatever, dude. I am, dude. I'm sharp as a tack.
My kids broken their controllers. Flipping around the sticks too fast.
I have the metabolism of a high-speed shrew, dude. I can move. What are you talking about?
Is that from all your move and shoot skills you got there going?
Yeah, exactly. All them old skills that I have just translated to down just the sticks. Oh man, it feels bad when you get blasted by. Oh my God, I know. Or when you talk about your mom. You ever been on call? Baconator is what I'm talking about. You're sitting there playing. Oh, you suck like your mom. Like, what the hell? What was that? And it's like, a little freaking 8, 9-year-old. No, I do not. Did I say body? I think of the metabolism. I'm hyper, I guess you'd say. I'm really hyper. I'm amped about stuff. For my age, I guess never mind. Anyways, yeah. Bailey's like trying to embarrass me on camera. No. It's the red light. It's not me turning red. Thanks, making me blush and shit. I appreciate it. Walked to school one time, missed the bus, and had exams in high school. It was like 6 miles. I had one exam. I'll call my mom and tell her I missed the bus. Yeah, I know, dude. Yeah, I didn't do that either. I would just rather walk. Kind of timed it just right. Had to make sure. Timed it just right so that way we're like, okay, it's going to take me this long to walk to school if I miss the bus. If I sleep in and miss this time, or will it sleep in? You know what I mean? Because sometimes the bus actually would take longer than you walking.
True.
So I'm kind of hoofing it. Let me see what we got. We're looking at the clock right now. So we're going to talk about next break. We're going to talk about marijuana. We're still going to talk about Elon. And what else are we going to talk about? What was the next big one?
Well, isn't he pretty good on that subject too? So.
Oh yeah, he is. So, I appreciate the compliment. I'm gonna break it off now. Take a break. I'm just kind of tripping out at the chat thingy here, and so that way you guys can enjoy the chats, and then of course I'll bring them back up after the break, and then so everyone go hit the latrine, go smoke them if you got them. Go refill your glasses, charge your drinks, and then we'll be right back with part 2 of the Monday edition. Man, this conversation went quick, Shipwreck. Why you talking so much? So, anyways,
I'm the new host. You didn't know?
We'll be right back. Shouts.
WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.
Take it from me, Ice. You can't just float around space not caring about stuff forever.
The voice of U.S. Army. WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Shit in the bag, Pogue.
draw the line, 'cause it's so sad. Tell me where you lost your faith. Is it so bad? I'll wait until you come back. Come back down to me. I'll wait until you come down. Come back down to me. I'll wait until you come back. Come back down to me. I'll wait until you come down. Come back down. Hello, hello to you. Will you come back down to me? Hello, hello to you. Will you come back down? Hello, hello to you. Won't you come back down to me? Hello, hello to you.
I am here determined to stop this future atrocity.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe. I suggest we use it.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.
What's up? Been here talking about the marijuana. What's up?
Everyone's favorite subject.
Oh.
For most of us.
For most, yeah, me and Shipper were just talking about it on break and just laughing about it. So I figured I'd put some apropos music with some Cypress Hill and Hits from the Bong is the name of the song. You guys don't know. What do you guys know about that? You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, anyways. So, I love that song too. God, it's a badass song they sampled from.
Very true.
Needs to be a good cover to that too. Let me have a good woman singer sing a good, not a dude, because that song's not a. That's a straight. That's got to be a woman. So that's to do some justice. Anyway, so what's been going on in the marijuana front? Aside from everyone all of a sudden grasping their pearls and saying, oh, it's a gateway drug. Those damn weed snorters. That's all they ever do is snorting weed and the gateway drug. All I know is that I've never gotten in a fight with a pothead before. A cokehead, crackhead, alcoholic, drunk ass. I've been in fights with them, but I rarely. It's like if you want to disarm somebody or something like that. That would be the way to go, I guess.
Man, I've never seen anybody in a fight over that stuff either.
You know, well, usually when it comes to them, I don't know, when it's sober, I guess, is when they're not high. Then that's when you see. That's when you see that the arguing about stuff like that. But generally, I've not experienced any unpleasantries. I guess you would say when I'm dealing with somebody who's under the influence of the devil's lettuce. It's all going to be marijuana slang. So I'm trying to work on exactly that, Pookie, injecting that evil CBD and stuff. Of course, as soon as the news came out about what was it, the House passes. What was it about?
Yeah, the House passed a bill on it.
So the House passes marijuana.
Goes to the Senate now.
Then what?
And then it goes on to the president.
And then what?
And then it becomes law if they all two sign after the House.
I'm just thinking about everybody right now going, everyone's like on both sides of the aisle. It's kind of funny when now all of a sudden you see how before it was to discussing the worst case scenario is you get paranoid hiding under a blanket. You're supposed to be paranoid? At that point, when you're already doing it, who gives a shit? There's been both sides of the aisle that have been going back and forth about it. That what was kind of funny is that on the Republican side, it was, you need to take care of vets, we need to stop the opioid crisis, and how come you don't use CBD, and blah, 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 blah. And now the House is like, oh, okay, let's pass it. Wait a minute, hold up. Let's pump your brakes. There's a lot of individuals out there that like to throw their, like, you, there you go, Pookie. Oh, I should say, look at the chats. They need the votes. Definitely need the votes. Congressional committee took a major step to let the VA recommend marijuana use for vets. And back in 2019, we shared a story about it. From ConnectingVetsRadio.com talked about back in 2019. Could you imagine? That's how long we've been tracking this stuff. So it's not like we're just talking out of our ass in this. They took a major step. And voted to advance a bill to the House floor that could end the prohibition of marijuana and allow the VA to recommend its use to veterans. Pain management, PTSD. Gary says there's not enough research by the government to tax it, but there sure is a lot of government research to make it illegal, right? You know what I mean?
Well, have you actually read the bill on it though?
Are you doing that again? Have I actually read the bill? Tell me the bill.
Have you?
I've read. Go ahead, Shipwreck. Go ahead.
There's a lot of caveats in it, but the main gist of it is to get rid of it on the substance list with the DEA. It's the main reason. But it's coming down to taxes. They did their findings. You know how they do findings and all the time for their bills. But
of course,
in 2020. It was $20 billion in total sales, and they're projecting a $40 billion by 2025. So yeah, they want to tax that.
Have you ever driven through Colorado and see where all that weed money goes? It ain't on their freaking highways
or in banks.
I mean, kind of like, is it? As I'm saying, it's just like we're gonna have weed empires. We're gonna have weed conglomerates, just like how we have big pharma. We're gonna have big weed. Did you know the former Speaker of the House, John Boehner, the big freaking, was all about against no weed. It's a gateway drug. The Democrat,
but cause is correct though.
The Republican Party is not like this. Blah blah blah. And next thing you know, come to find out when he retires, he's one of the biggest investors in the weeds.
Cause is right, but in the bill, there's the caveat. If you're a federal employee, they're still going to do drug testing for it.
So then why is it? But why? That's what I'm saying. If alcohol's legal, oh, you're damn right, Pookie. Pookie, you're right. Congress is everybody's lining up and making sure that all their chess pieces are in play to make sure that they get this weed bill passed. They're not thinking about the troops, man. Don't let that shit fool you. The whole discussion about the parties being all together and shit, almost like a uniparty.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Pot shops can't use banks; they're all cash. That's right. So Congressman Morgan Griffith, decisions about, and what he says, decisions about marijuana policy must be based on facts and evidence. Yet current federal law makes collection of this data extremely difficult. I co-sponsored. Why is it these guys always say like an oligarchy? Yeah, a weedagarchy, cannabinarchy, cannabis. No, it sounds like an narc too much. It sounds too close like narc. What is it with these congressmen that says I, and then ask for bipartisan support, but then they keep saying I co-sponsored. This is Congressman Morgan Griffith, the medical. I'm like tripping over myself here. Maybe I need to take an edible. Maybe I need to calm down.
Or two.
Or three.
Well, you lose count after a while.
You lose count, yeah. Well, it depends if they're good. If they're good, man. Didn't realize this was going to be a weed moment during this segment of the Monday edition, but he said he co-sponsored.
Are they better than Girl Scout cookies, though?
You will devour Girl Scout cookies upon consumption of said cannabinoid edibles. So he says he co-sponsored the medical marijuana. I can't even say it right. Marijuana, unless I say it like that. Medical marijuana. I can't even say it. See? Medical Marijuana Research Act. Medical Marijuana Research Act. There we go. 5 times fast. to expand opportunities for scientists to get the information we need about marijuana's potential benefits and harm. I'm glad the House passed our bill today. That was today. But I hope this is common sense change to the law that will continue to advance. So the discussion of there's individuals that are already saying, and the critics say that it causes autism, ADHD, impotence.
It does?
No, that's what they're saying.
Where's the science behind it?
Right. Oh, now you want to talk about science? Whoa, hang on, man. I thought all science only applied when it came to those agendas that you were talking about earlier.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying.
You're right.
Yeah, I'm just
sorry.
So the decriminalization should occur. I have other comments that I've gotten in my DMs about this. Should occur. Medical marijuana should be made available since they're a better and safer alternative than opioid prescription. See, now they're looking at are we looking at an empire of weed for cannabis? I think we need to get Chris Boris to come back on here and shoot the shit about the cannabis stuff and some of the stuff that he's in.
Well, in that bill, they talk about import and exports of it.
Right.
So it's not just be growing here; we're going to import it.
Right. And of course, the Republicans on the House Judiciary Committee are recommending to their colleagues they vote no. That this will be leading to the widespread use of drug. They also ignore the established science about marijuana's harmful effects. GOP lawmakers are also perturbed that Republican amendments, you're right, amendments are more restriction that were not considered. There you go. Exactly that. I don't ever remember people freaking. I mean, I've seen people freak out on weed because they've never had it before or whatever, but no one's ever OD'd on pot. However, now all of a sudden the GOP's like, oh, no, wait, weed snorters, it's all bad. It's bad, okay? Drugs are bad. You shouldn't take drugs, okay? So support the vets, right? Is it because we lost do I say we lost in Afghanistan? Ooh, man, that was just like a Freudian slip. Is it because we didn't finish Afghanistan? Okay, what's the PC way of saying it without people getting upset and all that stuff? And one of the running dialogues that everyone's talking about Afghanistan anyways is that now that everybody who was in, they're saying, well, you lost the war. Oh, thanks, shit stick. Didn't remember seeing you serving there, but okay, thank you for telling that we lost Afghanistan. That's like our version of how the Vietnam veterans were treated when they got back from Vietnam. So it was because the opioid, the poppies, and all this other stuff that we were able to scam off. Did you ever see that movie War Machine with Brad Pitt on Netflix? Watch that movie. He's making fun of General McChrystal, how he acts and stuff like that. So now the Republicans are like, no, we need you guys to be on your fix. Isn't that some of the parties that you see Republicans have, like doing coke and stuff like that? Or am I slandering or libeling? Am I shit talking on some Republicans here?
Well, the way they got the bill written, if you're a federal employee or in a sensitive job for safety and security purposes, you can't do it.
It's just like alcohol then. How about that? Like,
so there's nothing about age, though.
See, here's my thing. Ooh, you're right. That's a good point. There is nothing about age.
Yeah, so they pass it. There's really no age requirement on it, like cigarettes. Or drinking.
Pookie. Oh, man, I was going to talk about Madison Cawthorn, too, exactly. Cocaine-fueled orgies. Never happens to Ken. I'm not saying that would rail some coke, but I'm just saying, what's up with that, dude? Just like, I'm running for office. Cocaine-fueled orgies? And then all of a sudden, I guess, minority leader frickin' say, what was his name? McCarthy or something like that? Called him into his office, chew his ass out. Say, don't be talking about our shit. Don't be talking about our orgies. I'm just kidding. I don't know. Right, I was about to say, Shelley, the same thing. There was a couple of Republicans that were actually supportive of it.
And those are the ones you keep voting for, right?
Yeah, those are the ones. Are those the ones you keep voting for? Is that what you want to do? Is to vote for that one? But you see all the stories about it, and you see who's against it and who's for, and then you're kind of like, wait a minute.
Well, there's a lot of vets. It's been useful for them.
Right.
But they actually gotten off of a lot of medication from the VA, and their quality of life has improved.
And there's also some individuals that have used it in assistance with CBD and THC. for seizures.
Yeah, and I can't wait till I can for that issue and get rid of all the other medicine that destroys my liver.
Right.
But
so you think it's?
Guess I need to move to another state.
Move to another states, or find out what states you have friends in that have the legal consumption of. Can you mail that stuff? Will you get in trouble? I mean, I'm just kind of wondering. Been out of the game for a while. Well, I don't want to send you like a pound or something like that from some. So here you go, shit.
Oh yeah, you can't cross state lines with it.
No,
it's still federal.
You can't mail. Yeah, you can't mail it. I know Texas is really hard about that stuff. You look at weed or talk about weed, they put you on a watch list or something like that.
No-fly list.
Exactly. You'll be like, you're on the no-fly list. Why? According to your Facebook records, you look like you were trying to be a weed snorter and trying to buy some of them CBD joints. I don't know why people think that. Texas.
Yeah, but you drive down the block, you smell it all everywhere.
Oh my God, I know, dude. You like driving down the block, especially when you go to Austin. You're like, holy shit. But that's crazy, dude. I don't know. Do you think it's going to happen? It's already passed the House.
I think it's going to pass because they want the tax revenue.
But where's it going to go? Who's it going to go? That's what I'm saying. The tax revenue and stuff. So big bills like this and big profit stuff like that. How is it that we don't have, when we talk about the gas prices? Because every time I ask about the gas prices and how come our gas prices are high, I always get bombarded with oil companies, and the oil companies. I'm like, okay.
You know how much taxes on gas? It's outrageous.
Some of it isn't the oil companies.
State and federal tax on it.
California is considering relieving some of the taxes they have and giving Californians, people of California. We need to have CQ's desk in here to imitate Arnold again to talk about California gas. You had.
He can do Arnold's voice.
Oh my God, have you seen that? Yeah, dude, you need to watch it. I mean, I can't. He's like literally, you just close your eyes and you think Arnold is talking to you.
Well, I'm going to request that he does that tomorrow.
What, the guest? Oh, well, he's not. Yeah. No, that's not his guest tomorrow. His guest tomorrow is. I can't even pronounce his name. I don't want to fuck it up.
Yeah, I got you.
It's a really hard name to pronounce. For me, it is. I mean, I don't. Maybe recently sold my house in Austin for 2 times what I bought in 2017. I could not get out fast enough with Tesla and LA moving in. So Texans, are you moving out of Texas? Is that what you're saying? You're saying Texas isn't Texas? You're not messing with Texas? Texas is actually being messed with now? Is that what it is? I don't want to piss off.
Well, if I have to move out of here, I have to move my family and my extended family and my extended family.
You have one of those families. Wink.
You know how it is.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, exactly. Dude, I don't know, man. I don't know if they'll pass it or not. Curious. Again.
I hope so. They actually got a spot in it for veterans to open up veteran status and collecting data for it.
See, that's the thing. How come? Like, why isn't the VA pushing this stuff? Why isn't the VA pushing? I mean, you would think a bill like this, something that would impact pharma. As long as Pfizer and Moderna and those guys aren't involved, who else? Big pharma.
Well, they already have a marijuana medicine out there you can get actually now. In pill form.
In pill form.
Yeah. And big pharma.
Pill form, thanks, yeah. Who sells it? Who is it?
I'd have to look it up, but my doctor said that I could get it, but there's so much regulation and red tape on it. It's outrageous. It's really hard to prescribe it to patients, he said.
Craig says he moved to Corpus. Okay. So is it better to move him to Corpus than Austin? Is that what you're saying?
Well, Corpus has a Indian reservation there, and if it's part of your religious practices, you can get a card for it and partake in your religious beliefs.
So then, do you think that if you were to say your religious exemptions to have, in the military or government, see, that's what I'm saying. If it's going to be decriminalized, why isn't it treated like alcohol? Why can't it be treated like alcohol? If you're under the influence of alcohol, you still get fired for your job, right? If you're under the influence of marijuana, you're not going to understand maybe a use of time use, like you can't use it 12 hours prior to your workday or something like that.
Well, they got it in there where they'll do testing for federal employees still, and then they have it where if your job is considered safety or sensitive, then you can't do it. So that means whole military. Sorry, that's how
is it sensitive or something like that? Is it?
Well, you got to get a clearance, right? Join the military.
Yeah. See,
I can see,
they're gonna have exactly.
They're not saying it's all sensitive. It's your job to carry firearms as needed, and sorry.
Ooh, yeah. There's that Second Amendment thing. There's that firearms handling stuff like that.
And that's how I'm reading it. So if you're in DOD, it looks like you probably won't be able to partake in it. But that's my opinion. I'm not a lawyer, but from what I'm reading.
I don't know. We'll see. If it passes, I'll be shocked. I don't know what other states, because there's some states that let's just talk about the Second Amendment. The Second Amendment doesn't cover really much about anything when it comes to owning firearms, because there's nothing specific about whatever. However, individual states impose some of the most strictest anti-Second Amendment laws. Like, well, go back to California. You couldn't even have a weapon like in the movies. You can't own a high capacity magazine or a assault weapon, whatever they want to get all pearl clutching. But then wasn't there a mass shooting in Sacramento already? There was a mass shooting or something like that. Top story.
I heard about it, but I didn't catch up on that.
Yeah, I didn't catch up either. It was like 6 victims ID'd. A suspect has been arrested, and 6 individuals were killed in a mass shooting over the weekend. And then of course everyone's like, oh well, then let's ban weapons, let's ban guns, let's ban them all. Let's just ban them.
Well, they're going to ban knives too while they're at it.
Well, 30 caliber clipazines. Where was I going with this? When I'm talking about some of the most restrictive gun measures when it comes to something like that, and it's still happening. You're just going to ban guns altogether? Is that what you're talking about? Elon Musk will bring President Trump back onto Twitter before any of these complete gun ban ever happens. I don't know. Maybe I'm eating my words. I'll eat my words later. Someone will say this didn't age well. I just talked about Elon Musk bringing D. Tracy back on Twitter. Would come first before anybody would ban guns in the country. Can't kill 15 people in 10 seconds with a knife. Yeah, that's a topic, man. That's a topic. California would ban all with triggers. Yeah, all guns with triggers. Yeah, you must use slingshots. That's the only way you can hunt in California.
Oh, can't I walk around with my dog on a leash and my dog carrying, not me?
Yeah.
I would write it as a trust fund that my dog owns it.
Well, that's what I'm saying, man. I just like you can't. I'm sorry, I'm not for it. I'm not for the restrictions of firearms. I don't. No. Nope. Pro 2A. Sorry. Everyone's gonna say how much it's gonna take. Oh, guns, this. I wonder how much close to the precipice that bad things could have happened if we didn't have guns, if we didn't have our citizenry able to protect themselves.
Oh, we'd be in a different world.
Oh, you think about it?
And it's hard to say what it would be.
I think about it right now. Just already, you just tweet something or Insta something or Facebook something, and somebody gets pissed off and rats you out. Remember the lockdowns? Everyone was more than happy as shit to rat you out if you weren't wearing a mask, or if you were gathering more than so many people or not social distancing. What restrictions are you not for? Are there any for you for what? I think everybody should be able to own a weapon. Period. Just to what point are we going to talk about what the founders said? what the founders intended, because then we can apply that to the First Amendment, right? Go back to paper and quill.
Well, isn't there a saying one person with a firearm can control 100 people? But if 100 people had a firearm, that one person loses?
Well, that's what? What saying was that? Who said that?
I did. I just came up with it. No, seriously, I've heard it from a couple of my friends.
Yeah. What restrictions? Craig, what are you talking about? What restrictions am I not for? I mean, obviously, if you're okay, look like this, and we talked about this before. And I got some pretty hardline Second Amendment supporters pissed off at me when I said this. Is that if you really want to place that, like for instance, just like individuals who can't drive anymore, old people, old people. Well, shit, never mind, disregard. We have old people in Congress right now that can't govern, and they're the ones that are telling you to, you can't, you shouldn't own a weapon. Dude in China stabbed like 14 people before the police showed up a few years ago. Japan, 19 people were killed on a subway.
Doesn't Japan have strict laws on firearms?
Oh my
too?
gosh, yeah, dude. They really have. They have one of the most in the country. They do.
And they still have mass killings.
Yeah, you're right.
But
so, for instance, if someone's out of mental capacity, or someone violates the Lautenberg Act, somebody who's been convicted of domestic violence, yeah.
Yeah, domestic violence, I totally agree with that one. If you've done that, then...
Domestic violence, yeah, yeah. So that's why he's got to make sure that when you try, or cases like this of domestic violence, or try this. So the Lautenberg Amendment, I'm for that. I'm supportive of that. Age and shit, I'm exactly that. I'm not... If I get old and my mental capacity and faculties are not there, and I can't handle a weapon. I'm not talking about negligence like fucking Adam Baldwin handling a weapon. I'm talking about freaking like legit. I am starting to fade out. My mind is going, and I can't function. I can't make rational decisions. I would expect my family to secure my firearms, and that's it. And it wouldn't bother me. I wouldn't.
Or get where you physically can't control it in a safe manner.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Incapacity. Yeah, I mean, that's what I mean. But I know individuals that, that cannot, if they're suffering a debilitated disease, or they like you said, physically can't handle a firearm or something like that. I'm okay with that. If you accidentally bomb a wedding, should you get to keep your drones? Yeah, exactly. Depends. Should you keep your drones? I don't know. You're talking about the administration when they drone strike a fucking family, and so quote unquote revenge for what happened on. That's like saying New Jersey has fewer mass shooting than the U.S.
Shouldn't they do a clearance for the drones background check?
Yeah, really. Yeah, should they
sign a
do
waiver?
Drones? Exactly. At what altitude can they operate at? Were they violating a specific altitude? But no, if my mental capacity was out and I could not own a fire or physically handle a firearm, or my mental, we all want to talk about cognitive tests. I'll tell you what, you legislators that want to have these type of laws for the Second Amendment, you take your cognitive test and then I'm cool with it. I guarantee it, they won't take one.
And show all their tax open.
Yeah, I think I'm just discussing this, saying straight up that I think term limits should happen for, for the Supreme Court and Congress. Hey, talking about everyone talking about this age stuff and all this other stuff. Fuck it, term limits for members of Congress, term limits for freaking members of the Supreme Court. Some of those individuals that you see on that are governing marijuana, governing us right now, some of them don't even know where they're at sometimes. Their realities.
A lot of them don't even read this stuff. They depend on their staff that they hire.
Well, not a lot of them are not. All I'm saying is that a lot of them are detached from the reality of the citizenry. That's all my thing is. And they should. Craig said they should take. They should take one to pass a law. They should just pass a law to begin with. without the attachments that go to it, because that's the thing that pisses me off of how we pass our laws. It's like we can't just say passing a law here, but however, when we pass this law and everyone's for it, then the next thing you know, but you're also going to have a law for this. You're going to have another funding for that. You're going to have appropriations for this. You're going to blah, 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 blah. I'm bring some of my congressional staffer friends back online so we can catch up and discuss.
Well, would the test be on their mental capacity, or be a test on if they actually read the bill?
Whatever the American Medical Association's standards are for cognitive and you know what I mean? Well, would they consider you to be, in mentally incapacitated?
By medical standards.
Yeah, by medical standards. But then again, who are we going to trust? Because the medical standards depends on who's on what TV show at what network are going to be discussing what. Like what? Think about it. You have one network has one medical pundit that talks about what happened during the Rona, and then you have another one, and then you have another one, then you have another one speaking, and then the next thing you know, you have the CDC saying something, and then you have all these individuals who had their 15 minutes of fame to discuss about the Rona. That I'm kind of glad some of these individuals are in laboratories locked away, because some of them could oh my God, you're making these decisions for us. The doctor's recommendation. Grassley's been in the office since 1950s, man. Exactly. The omnibus bills piss me off. Exactly the same thing. If you were to read it for 100%, yeah, it would take 5 years to read it, but they pass one every year. Whoever's the expert at the time on whoever's side. This should be like an independent expert. Just grab a bunch of doctors here, psychiatrists and psychologists that would be able to administer tests to see if the individual is cognitive enough to drive a car. Don't we do that for freaking old people? Well, speaking of Florida, doesn't Florida do that? Aren't some states, if they're not passed by a doctor, they can't drive anymore? They get their license taken?
Yeah, and plus they got to go in the DMV to check their eyes and all of that.
Whoa, wait a minute. So then I got that. That's why I say I got no problem for the same thing with the Second Amendment.
Shouldn't they take that test though before they run for office?
Well, some of these, some of these individuals, like Shelley said, been in the 50s and shit, dude. Some of them have met, dead presidents that are still alive. You know what I mean? Some of them have met. I'm just like serving 40, 50, 60 years in office. Everyone's like, oh, we're going to celebrate the congressperson. From it doesn't matter if they retire or they pass. Do you have anything to say? Any great speech to say? Yeah, poop my pants.
Couldn't help me.
Yeah, it helped me. That's a good point too, Shelley. Yeah, exactly. Brother lost his license because of seizures. Yeah. Just imagine our forefather, the government, saying you need a license to ride your horse for safety. Yeah.
Yeah, and with seizures, all it takes is a law enforcement officer write a report, send it in, and you can lose your Class C license or Class A.
Yeah.
Or Class B license.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, if somebody's, if you have a seizure on a motorcycle, I don't know, I doubt you're going to make it. But what was I saying? What's wrong with that? What's wrong with having Congress have members of our government have the same thing if they want to talk about what is, I know we got off a total tangent, different tangent from going off of the.
Well, if we need a license to ride your horse, that's going to affect all the Amish families. Are they going to get tickets?
Yeah, really.
Going too fast in the 25-mile-per-hour zone.
Craig says it scares him with term limits. It could end up with a bunch of woke 30-somethings in Congress. If you limit it to 20 years, how about that? 20 years of service. That's plenty of wiggle room in there. And then if you caught violating some sort of redistricting, like if you start gerrymandering and you violate it, any violation, you're like reenlistment. You get barred from reenlisting. You get barred from rerunning. And that's it. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with having a 20-year cap? Even for SCOTUS, too.
Maybe a 15-year.
like the Army, like the Army licenses to operate a lawnmower. If that's who's elected, exactly that. Well, you know what? Here's another thing too. I'm always all about fresh meat, different ideas and stuff like that. And just like in the military, we've seen individuals have become train wrecks in command, and they get what? They either get relieved or a bad OER or a bad NCOER, right? There should be like an evaluation for Congress too for some of that stuff. And I go by polls too, because some of the polls lately have been crazy.
Make them do PT tests.
Well, they don't have to. Nah, if we had the old PT test, I'd be like, yeah, you could do. If you could do one leg tuck. What did he say? Did he say I had to do what? What the hell is a leg tuck? Is that the orgy? Is that what's going on in the orgy?
Can I do my 2 miles on a scooter?
Wait, it's 2 miles. Wait, yeah, exactly. What do you mean? Like, what the hell's that? Shut up. Anywho, man, what else were we gonna talk about? I think that was it. I think that was the agenda. Elon bringing back D. Treasy. So what's
you really think that can happen, though?
I think what's going to happen is that because Elon Musk has been talking about how Twitter should be the public square and yada, yada, yada. We also talk, there's going to be some other stuff that has to do with Sergeant's Time I'm going to talk about later. But if he brings if he brings them back, who cares? We've had members of the Taliban on freaking Twitter, members of the freaking the Iranian government, or as the president likes to say, the Uranian government.
Isn't like Putin still on there? No one.
Yeah. It's kind of like we have Ivan on there too.
Mm-hmm.
Ivan, the government of Russia, they're on there posting their bullshit.
And the Ukraine.
And China. They're posting their bullshit too.
Yeah.
West Taiwan. So, every elected official must be able to pass an 8th grade civics test. That's fair. And
it might be too high of a standard, though.
And they do their own funding. They do their own no donations. They do it themselves. If they're able to handle their own type of their own like they have to hire their own staff. Like if they hire their own staff, then that staff person has to. That's it. No donations other than to. Now that sounds like you kind of have to donations to do the comms work and do the campaigning. So maybe there should be a cap. Like you can only have one Facebook account, one Twitter account, and one, you know what I mean? Limit them. Like the Hunger Games. You want my vote? You better earn that shit.
Well, isn't in history a lot of the workers were actually pure volunteers?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep. A lot of them are. Some congressional staffers too are. A lot of them are not paid or volunteers, and they're it's sad to see how members their staffers are the ones that
short end of the stick.
Yeah. What do the UNC? Oh yeah. This UNC Kansas game makes me want to use marijuana from Joe. What are my thoughts on the Electoral College? Sorry if this is something I've discussed before, but I haven't heard it from you. Oh well, hey. Man, that's a topic that is I'm off and on for, if that makes any sense. Because then we start talking about how the voting is going to be done if the Electoral College is taken off, and I don't really trust the methods of some of the voting unless everyone is issued a national ID, unless we have like a CAC card. Oh, that's a double negative because card is in the name CAC. So everyone has a CAC. If everyone has a CAC and they have a PIN number to associated CAC, and they could use that to vote, maybe one might have a more accurate election.
With their own digital PIN.
With their own digital PIN.
Go with the chip.
Just like an ATM card. It's got a chip inside. Yeah. We have a chip inside in the military when we have to use it. The CAC has a little PIN too.
And there's a lot of countries that have a better election system, in my opinion, than we do. And we're supposed to be the gold standard around the world. Well,
I don't want to say that other countries are the gold standard either, but I will say that it's time, and that's another thing too. You got to be careful because when you discuss new topics of elections and new topics of his use of the Electoral College, people get pissed off and call you like a seditionist or a fucking insurrectionist just for talking about it. I know I've been called that a couple times just for me saying some shit or just being
a good old debate.
No, nobody wants to debate no more.
Without argument.
No, cancel your ass. No, you're canceled. Shut up, Shipwreck. Why are you even talking now? See, I'm going to cancel you. I'm going to chase you out. I'm going to chase you out and cancel you.
I'll mute my mic. Yeah, I got it. I'll mute my mic. Ask for permission.
It will get you. I'll get you. Yeah, you're destroy your job, destroy your life, destroy everything. Just destroy everything because people don't like what you're saying. Nobody wants to hear debate anymore. Or if they do hear debate, they want to hear you debate and then try to drag you for it. And then the next thing you know, it's like that's why it's like for a while you just couldn't say it. Well, actually, not for a while. Still, you couldn't say anything about the Rona or the VidVax or anything like that with people getting all pissed off.
Or get out of the car and make a little cough with allergies.
Yeah. Now, did I purposely go out sometimes and just sneeze just to get people to look? Yes, never.
Shh. We don't talk about those dirty things.
Craig Smith's a cack would never work in the liberal world. Why do you say that? What's a liberal world? I think if you sell it to that, hey, look, this is your CAC. Don't lose this CAC.
It's your life.
It's your life CAC. This is your life CAC. Well, who would facilitate the CAC?
Well, how many would actually be putting a cup of water in the freezer?
I'm just saying. Yeah, exactly that. How many people lost again? Craig, I wasn't taking you as trying to set me up, man. I feel the same. You know what I mean? That's my feel on it. I don't see that's something too. I don't get offended when you're asking me a question. I don't think you're trying to troll me or something like that. I just think that having a CAC, you start having a CAC, and the next thing people are going to talk about the, what about the Republicans who are going to boycott Disney when they don't agree and don't say gay? Isn't that part of cancel culture they supposedly hate? I'll be quite honest with you. Disney's freaking expensive to go to anyway, so I'm boycotting them too because they're too freaking expensive. I don't give a fuck about the gay part. I mean, you know what I'm saying. I'm not trying to. Dude,
you don't go for like
do you know how much
Star Wars?
You know how much expensive it is to go to Disney World right now and Disneyland? Should boycott that. Boycott the prices. Yeah, you could talk about whatever you want to talk about with their agenda and stuff like that, or what they're saying or whatever. I don't discuss that stuff when I'm watching The Mandalorian with my kids. You know what I mean? I don't discuss that at all. I'm watching the Book of Boba Fett. I mean, watching that, I don't talk about that stuff. I was like, look at this shit. Talking about that. We're talking about, I should boycott Disney for killing Cad Bane after the second episode. What's up with that? Again, it doesn't come. Discussions like this doesn't come up when I go to Disney, other than the fact that, damn, I'm not getting that extra chudo. This shit's expensive.
You actually been to Disney?
Which, yeah, dude, come on, man. I've been to both Disneyland and Disney World.
I haven't even been to one.
It's been like it's a dude. Some people are like taking out mortgages and shit. I'm being obviously sarcastic and facetious a little bit, but it's expensive. You gotta save up some money to go to that stuff. And if you're not a Florida resident, or you're not a California resident, or you're not from there, you gotta pay for a hotel. You don't think Cad Bane is dead? Oh man, I hope not, dude. Cad Bane, I love that character, man. It used to cost $25 a ticket. Yeah, well, it used to be several tickets too. I remember back in the day when it was several specific classes of tickets. The better the more further down the letters, their e-tickets were like the best ones. But you don't think Cad Bane's dead? What's up with that? Did you see Boba Fett just spike him with his gaffy stick? I don't want to get all pop culture warrior stuff, but
yeah, stay in your lane.
Yeah, stay in my lane because I don't want to jump in that. So, anyways, it's expensive to go to Disney as it is. So, if I'm going to boycott anything about Disney, it's going to be the fact that it's too damn high. It's too damn high.
You want to boycott your gas now?
You want to talk about my gas? Oh my God, dude. See, that's something too. So you have to pay for your resort hotel. You got to pay for your flight. You got to rent a car, and you got to pay for the gas for that. If you're in that area, if you're not from there, if you're if you're living near Disneyland or Disney World, then I could see you. But it's still going to be expensive. Now, I mean, come on. Anyone here who does not flex that vet or military discount stuff when it comes to going to Disney, you're a fool for not doing it. Don't sit there and say, and try to be all cool and try to be all hip by saying, I don't use that. Only vet bros and, as a veteran, blah, 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 blah. Only truck renters do that. No.
Well, something's overpriced.
Yeah, I'm just saying, take advantage of that shit. The offering military discount? Wait, it's going to take how much money off my ticket? How much money is going to take off this? Oh, this is free if I use that? Hell yeah.
Well, can you go to your local MWR and get a better?
There you go. Actually, you're right. You could just go to your local MWR office if you're I don't know if they opened up to veterans yet. I don't know.
I think some veterans do. Depends on their disability percentage.
Yeah. Well, anyways, if there's anything I'm going to boycott Disney about, it's the fucking prices. My little ones, when they're watching, I'm old school Disney anyway, so my kids will watch all that stuff. And then, of course, Star Wars. Star Wars, Star Wars is Disney. I don't even call that. Star Wars was there before, Star Wars was on its own thing before it became a Disney entity. So, and I've not seen any changes. If if people complain about Star Wars going woke or whatever, they should really read the comments and the comics and the novels. If they were to truly put what was inside the novels and the comics for Star Wars, people would freak out if it were on screen. You'd have the guys that are saying, "Oh, this shit's woke," when it's actually been canon or part of the Legends series forever and a day. Oh, there's no way.
So it's watered down, is what you're saying.
Whoa. What's that?
So you're saying it's watered down?
It's what Star Wars is watered. Star Wars is watered down on the violence, and Star Wars is watered down on the social issues and stuff like that that they put on the screen. Whatever they put on the screen, that's why everyone's like, "Oh shit, Cad Bane is live action. Cad Bane's badass. Boba Fett is badass in the books and canon and stuff like that." It's like, holy shit. That's why I can't wait for this Obi-Wan Kenobi. So hopefully they're gonna add some of that Vaderness that was in books and novels and comics and stuff like that. That'd be kind of cool. I scared the shit out of my kids when we watched Rogue One. And Vader was spoiler alert, at the end, Vader tears up everybody. The kids, all they see is like Vader doing a couple of choking here on some Imperial officers and then like that, and then some weak fighting. But then Rogue One shows up and my kids are like, "Oh my God." Shows up in the dark like that. And that freaks out Baby Ice. That actually freaks out Baby Ice. The end of Rogue One, where Vader shows up and starts going after everybody and chopping everybody up. Man. Yeah, same. Yeah, exactly, Patrick. I'm a huge nerd. I'm a huge Star Wars nerd. So if you watch Rogue One, dude, that freaked out Baby Ice. Because, he likes Darth Vader because, it's Darth Vader. I have Darth Vader accoutrements and armor. And, I wear it so he sees Dad as Darth Vader. So as soon as he saw Rogue One happen, he saw everybody screaming and running and getting choked and getting chopped. That freaked him out. He was like, "Holy shit!" Well, he didn't say "holy shit," but he got upset.
My dad does that every day.
he's like,
run.
He starts. Yeah, he literally got upset. So I'm like, yeah, watch out, man.
Is that why he's a good runner and sprinter? He's always running for.
Aging myself, I saw Star Wars at the drive-in, and my eyes were this. Yeah, I saw Star Wars when it first came out when I was a kid. And you're right, I was in theaters just tripping the hell. I was back in my seat going, whoa. 22-18, UNC up, 8 minutes remaining. Wow. I guess the UNC was it Kansas right now? It's going against the Jayhawks. Against UNC Chapel Hill, the Tar Heels. House divided, I guess. I might have some family members that might be supporting the Jayhawks there. I have some family members that support the UNC Tar Heels. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, see, exactly, against Kansas. Yeah, exactly. Vader's just slaughtering everybody. So yeah, so when everyone talks about Star Wars is so woke and stupid, blah blah, and then you show them a book, or you have them read a book, and then you realize, oh shit, this is a great story, and then all of a sudden you realize that one of the Grand Admirals was a black woman, and she's one of the most badass characters in the Star Wars novelization stuff. Yeah, I mean, Admiral Sloane, Grand Admiral Sloane. She's badass.
Well, what made her badass?
She was loyal to Vader. I want a real quick snippet here of what happened. Since we got like 5 or 6 minutes to discuss before we close the show out, is my nerddom coming in a little bit. Grand Admiral Sloane. I remember that it was I remember if it was a novel or a comic. I think it was a comic, and it was written in. There was an Imperial officer that was doing doing calculations to jump into hyperspace, and part of the calculations were flying through a star to kill Vader and the Emperor, who were on the ship as well. So at the time, Sloane, who was I think a captain or something like that, or a lieutenant or something like that of the ship. No, I think she was a lieutenant, and she was a bridge officer, and the captain of the ship wanted to kill. He was like part of the rebels. He was gonna kill Vader and the Emperor on the ship. And
I got you. I'm following.
So what happened was that Vader was looking at Lieutenant Sloane. What's wrong? What are you doing? What's going on? Why are you checking the stats here? And Sloane says, these calculations are incorrect. This is wrong. Lord Vader, look at this shit. You're a pilot. Look at that. Look, you fly through hyperspace. Where do you think you're going to fly through? And then next thing you know, Vader's like, oh, yeah, snap. Oh, snap. Look at that. You put that shit through a star. And she's like, right. So she ratted out her captain for being disloyal to the Empire. So Sloane brought that to the attention of Vader. Vader brought it to the attention of the Emperor, and then they were escorted in the office in the throne area where the Emperor was at, and zip zap, gone, killed him. Right?
Maybe they should put that book in the standard for military officers to read.
Right, exactly like that. So she not only did she save Darth Vader, she saved the Empire. She saved the Emperor as well. So she ascended up in rank to one of the Grand Admirals. So when people say, yeah, Darth Nihilus would force choke a whole planet, that's true. Shelley, you're right. The Jedi religion is based on samurai culture. So when people are saying that, Star Wars, if it becomes woke, then it's done. I really suggest you read some of the novels and some of the books and some of the comics that were written way before Disney decided to take over Star Wars, and then you'll be shocked that whoa, Grand Admiral Thrawn wasn't a character in the Rebels cartoon. He was actually one of the individuals from the books and the novels that was brought to the screen. So that's why I'm like, oh, and then Sloane was brought into Star Wars Squadrons as well. So it's so I don't want to hear this. Oh, Star Wars is getting woke. Star Wars is woke. The cross section of society that sorry, she was loyal to Vader. Who cares? Fucking, that's like I'm all nerd. I nerd out in Star Wars stuff. But anywho, pop culture warrior nerds unite. Exactly, Matt Patrick. Thrawn is badass, man. Wait a minute, it's a degree plan in college now? Whoa. Well, hang on. There's a degree plan in college for Star Wars now? For the study of Star Wars? No way, dude. Drop the link. As a matter of fact, we'll have CQ research that. CQ, on assignment, research, Star Wars University. So I have a business degree and a doctorate in studies and history, blah, blah, blah. And what do you have? Ice, did you go to college? Yes, I did. I have a double bachelor, double masters in the Sith and Jedi and Imperial.
Would you be the professor for that?
Imperial tactics. I don't know, man. I want to be a professor. I don't know, man. There's a lot of yeah, exactly that. I would stay up for that class. Yeah, Pookie's right. There is some stuff in Star Wars that is R-rated. That if you were to put that on TV, if you were to put that in film, people would freak out. People would be like, "What the hell?" And you want to talk about woke? There were some same-sex couples in Star Wars too. In its, so if everyone's freaking out about that just didn't happen, or this is woke. So, thanks, Craig. Appreciate it. Well, thanks for hanging out.
Well, I appreciate your education on it. I didn't know a lot of that stuff.
Oh yeah, dude. Just get a book. Just Legacy of the Force. Joe, I'd bash someone's head if they majored in Jedi. That degree would be more useless than an AMU degree. That's right, because everybody knows the Sith has a better study, right? Is that what you're saying? You're saying the Sith is better? How about Imperial ship design or something like that? But yeah, exactly, Shelly. People will be freaking out. Wait a minute, you mean like Darth Vader really killed a lot of people, or Cad Bane, really did? If you again. Don't ever talk to me about Star Wars being woke, because it's if you read its books, comics and all, you're gonna be like, holy shit, this is some vicious shit. So yes.
What would be PE class? Lightsaber war? Lightsaber training?
PT. Because you notice you see all these Jedi when you see Luke Skywalker running around and training Leia. When they were showing that in the new sequel trilogy, they're all running. What are they all doing? They're doing PT. They're running through the forest. They're doing flips and stuff, right?
Well, they're willing to do anything for Leia, You blame them?
A veteran degree with an emphasis on Ewoks. Raven needs to be canon, exactly that. Or Darth Malgus too. Those guys need to be canon. And everybody's freaking out, just going crazy because I'm nerding out on Star Wars, but I am really a huge Star Wars super fan. Big time.
You travel around and go to the cosplay shows for Star Wars?
I do. Actually, I do.
Really?
Yeah. I what? You think I was bullshitting you when I said I have a full Vader ensemble? I have a movie quality production Vader armor. That's the only way I can be tall, dude. Come on. Little guy, short guy like me.
You got to put it on one day and call in and do video with CQ. Show off your kit there.
Shut up! I'm not that short. No, actually, when I put all my gear on, when I wear my Vader outfit, it is I stand about 6.5, almost 7 feet tall, with the boots, armor, the helmet, and all this other stuff. And then I have several editions of Clone Trooper outfits. Stormtrooper.
Are they one-on-one ratio?
Yeah. Oh yeah, full ratio. Yep.
Really?
Yeah. Yep.
Damn.
I have a Star Wars. Well, hang on. Let me see. Let me go on. I'm going to mute my mic, and then I'm going to go and secure one of my helmets. Hang on. And it's stored right here. Hang on for a second. I'll be right back. Keep talking.
This is going to be scary what he brings out. Wonder what color it is. White, black, pink. Behind curtain number 2.
What did you just say?
Behind curtain number 2.
I almost tripped wearing. I almost tripped wearing it. So here is I have one of my armor helmets. This is the Imperial Stormtrooper. I got. So when I say I'm a nerd, I had to remove the comments. I'm a nerd. Okay, so yes, that is an Imperial Stormtrooper helmet, and all this other stuff. So yes, you could make the joke. Aren't you a little short to be a Stormtrooper? Blah 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 blah. So hang on, let me pull it up. There we go. So here is just a piece of one of my collections. So I'm just totally nerding out right now. So
do you polish it every week?
The style of make it you don't need to. I have other uniform pieces that are weathered and a little beat up, but yeah, So this is just one of my gear. So if you ever see a stormtrooper running around or whatever, and you hear a familiar voice, or you hear Darth Vader, and then you're like, hey, we're back, But I have all the trooper outfit that I'm working on right now is the if you saw Rogue One and you saw the what you use, it's the beach trooper, the shore troopers, that's the uniform I'm working on to get, so I can get it all, because that's actually because these things are hot to wear. Like, it literally is freaking this thing's it's a bitch to wear. You first off, you're
saying you gotta be all manly to wear it.
No, it's a pain in the butt to wear because it's so hot. These things don't cool. They're not they're not cooled off. So when I wear my Vader uniform, that breathing of the Darth Vader noise, it's actually me, like, winded as hell, and because it's freaking hot.
You have an engineer built an AC to it or something?
Anyways, the shore trooper actually has it's pretty light to where you're not where the desert trooper. Yeah, I mean, I had a scout trooper. I sold that, the speeder bike guys. I had that one too. So there we go. So anywho, I know, sorry we're nerding out right quick. I know we just totally jumped from news, commentary, and discussion to me giving you guys the brief about that, about Star Wars and but Pop Culture Warrior, his guest tomorrow is, I don't even know how to pronounce his name. Pop Culture Warrior, you want to give me like a call or something like that, or walking around all day, need a camelback, exactly that. I did that with my stormtrooper outfit. I had to take my helmet off, and I had in the backpack in the back area, I could sling a camelback on there, but the neck piece is like really restrictive too. So yeah, Star Wars is so cool, and it's badass. I don't even know how to pronounce this next guest for CQ. Is going to be on tomorrow. Is Cheyenne Sobian. I hope I didn't fuck up his name. Best known for Barad Tarazi on DC's Legend of Tomorrow. He's also an accomplished singer and musician. So I can't wait to hear if maybe CQ can get him play some tunes or something like that. He plays the guitar, bass, and piano, and the Shruti box. And in December 2020, he released his full single "I Fall to Pieces Without Falling Apart" on streaming platforms. So he's going to be on tomorrow, and then Thursday we're working on some bigger guests. We have some bigger guests military-wise that would like to join us in Sergeant's Time, and then of course we're getting everybody together for the Stolen Valor segment that's coming up soon. I have to make sure everybody's calendars are updated, and we got to make sure everybody can do this, and then that one's going to come up, and then it's going to be like an individual series throughout the show, throughout the station. Don't forget we have Monday editions today. CQ as always with Radar, the Unpop Culture for Pop Culture Warrior, and then we have Thursday Sergeant's Time with myself and Spanky, and then we have Friday Night Freedom with Pooks, and of course the Cause. Saturday and Sunday's off, Wednesday's off. So don't worry, we're planning and scheming for new shows and stuff like that. So thank you guys and gals for listening in and checking us out. We're streaming on 2 Facebook pages, U.S. Army WTF Moments and WTF Nation Radio, and we're also on YouTube, and we're also on Twitter, and we're also on Twitch. I'm trying to get the Twitch audience up. It's hard to get those kids up. I don't understand. I don't want to sit there and watch you talk on a mic. Okay, well then, aren't you like watching people play video games, talking on a mic? Is that the same thing? I mean, so looking at you, Twitch fans. How many people on Twitch right now? Let me see. Let me look. We don't have anybody on Twitch. I was going to say that one person. We had, was the last couple of weeks, we had like maybe 1 or 2. So, anyways. So thank you guys for listening. And of course, I'm going to play that national anthem again to close out, because that was just a badass. And I totally appreciate the individuals that let us use it. And that's Ryan Scott, the Brigade S3, for 434 Field Artillery Brigade. That's awesome. I totally appreciate it. Out of Fort Sill. He's the S3. Sorry, I'm an S3 junkie as well. So, I just don't know, I just think it's pretty cool. So we're gonna play the national anthem one more time, but don't worry about it. We're going to put it on MP3, so that way we can play it anytime or have the video posted anytime or whatever. So, with that, you got anything for me, Ship? Are you good or?
Oh, you covered everything pretty well. Even the Star Wars stuff. You educated me.
Good. There we go. Well, everybody, thanks again for hanging out. And then, of course, shots.
Hey, this is SEAC retired John Wayne Troxel. You're listening to WTF Nation Radio, the station of choice for all of the badass MFers on the planet.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again, because a vision softly creeping left its scenes while I was sleeping. Landed in my brain still remain within the sound of silence. In restless dreams I walked alone, narrow streets of cobblestone. The halo of ancient land, I turn my collar to the cold and damp, and my eyes will stand by the flash of a neon light that split the night and touch the sound of silence. And in the naked light I saw 10,000 people, maybe more. People talking without speaking, people hearing without listening, people writing songs and voices never shared, and no one dared to spend the song of silence. Fools say that you do not know, silence like a cancer grows. Hear my words that I might teach you. Hey, my arms that I might reach you. But my words, like silent raindrops fell, and echoed in the wells of silence, and the people bowed and prayed to the neon god they made. And the sign lashed out his warning, and the words that it was forming. In the sign said the words of the prophets are written
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.